Hi, this is Kevin Trainer, and I'd like to welcome you to my tutorial on replacing free-form text fields. And this is very satisfyingly the last part of normalization, which is part of logical database design. So we've had a series of these tutorial videos in which we've been going through the process that you see the diagram for on the screen now. And there were three high-level tasks: refining the conceptual data model, converting attributes into columns, and then normalizing the design. And then normalizing the design had 5 parts, and we've already done 4 up through relocate misplaced columns. And now the last ones that we come to is replace free-form text fields with lookup tables. Now this is classic relational database design, and this is a part that I really enjoy. So let's look at course offering, a table that we were just taking a look at in the last bit. And let's say, now we were talking about location before. That's the room in which we're going to hold the class. And that's a free-form text field. So we're thinking, well, we've done pretty well, because we entertain the idea that we might want to move it onto another table, that column, and then we moved it and we thought better of it, and it came back here. So you would think, well, we couldn't further improve it, but we can, and here's how we can. Right now the location is just a free-form character field, a text field, in which you can type anything you want. Okay? Well, on one hand, there's a lot of freedom in that. On the other hand, there's a lot of opportunity for error. And here's how the errors can occur. Let's say that we have a classroom, English 401, and we hold a lot of our classes there. So let's say that in a given semester, we might have, say, 10 course offerings, or even 20, that are going to happen in English 401. So we're going to type that in. Okay. Now we've got duplicate entries at best. We've got duplicate entries that all say English 401. So we've got redundant data, okay? So there's an opportunity to reduce that redundancy that we're going to act on in just a minute. We also have another problem. It's only redundant if we have coded it well. If, in fact, we have used the same case and abbreviations and spacing for every time we typed in English 401. But the fact is, one person, might put it in all lowercase. One person might put it in all uppercase. One person might put it in mixed case. One person might abbreviate it as ENGL. Another person who's not really thinking about the fact that we have an engineering building as well might decide to abbreviate it as ENG. So we might get all these kind of uncontrolled values, and that from a user perspective is a mess. So because at best we're going to get duplicate data, and at worst we're going to get sort of a naming confusion extravaganza, we're going to want to pull this out into its own table, and this is going to allow us to achieve two things. One is we're going to reduce the duplication that we have, and two, we are going to control values. So let's do this. Let's create a table, pull it right on out here, and let's call it location. And this is a classic, what I call a lookup table. And certainly we used to call this in the early days of relational databases. So I'm not sure that people use that term so freely today, but it seemed to appeal to us. So we're going to have an ID. So we're going to have a location ID. And we're going to have a location name. Okay, and then that's all we're going to have. So we're going to cut the other field. Okay, and so this is why the reason I call it a lookup table is it's just got a key and a value, right? That's it. That's all it does. It's very, very simple table. What is the relationship? Where each course offering is only going to be in one location, and each location can support 0 to many course offerings. So the many side goes over on the course offering, and the one side goes on the location. So let's pull a relationship out, put the many side on course offering, put the one side on location, and let's say call it something like takes place in. Okay, maybe that's the name of the relationship. So now this does two things. One is that if we're going to have this thing in English 401, we just have one entry in the location table. We'll eventually have a foreign key that's going to be in each row of the course offering table that's going to point to the row that has our location in it. So we are going to have a data column, but it's going to be a very small int column. And also, it's not going to be changing value. If something changes, I'm sorry, it might change value if we decide that we're going to move all of them. Okay, so that's true. We might do it, but we would be changing just the int value. Okay, the other thing that we've done more than anything else is we've controlled the values. This way, when you populate the location table, you can control the values. You can say, okay, the English building is going to be abbreviated all caps ENGL, and then there's going to be a space, and then there's going to be the number of the room, 401. And you can make sure that all the classroom buildings in English get put in the right way so that when you turn around and go use them, you have them controlled. Okay? So we've solved that, and this is a classic case of replacing a free-form text field with a table. Okay, now we've got one more problem over here that is part of some of the evil doing that I did early on. In fact, I'm going to move this location. Well, let's move this location a little bit lower. Some of the evil doing that I did early on is that when I'd finished my conceptual data model, I had a semester table, and I just got rid of it and put semester name on here just because I wanted to make some trouble. Okay? Now, again, we don't want to be typing semester names into a column like this because, again, what are the proper values for a semester name? Well, spring 2016 could be done typographically in a lot of different ways. So we get the same problem with semester name that we had with location. So now I'm going to come back and reinstate my semester table. Okay, so I've got semester. We're already using the key of it over here, semester ID. So let's say it has a key of semester ID. Okay. And it has an attribute of semester name. And again, it's just a lookup table. So we don't have any other attributes right now. And it has the same relationship structure as we saw for the location table. So each course offering is for only one semester. Each semester can have 0 to many course offerings. So we're going to come over and pull out, not a table, sorry, pull out a relationship. And again, we're going to put the many side on the course offering, and we're going to pull the one side over and attach it to semester. And then we're going to give it a name. So a particular course offering is offered in a semester. So let's say offered in. Okay. And now we've got that fixed. And now we're going to get rid of that. So let's cut that. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you we've got one more candidate for this. And that's course name. Okay. Because we have more than one section of the same course. Do we really want them to possibly be called different names? No, I don't think we do. Okay, so how are we going to solve that? Well, I think we're going to do a little bit of rearranging down here and get ourselves a little more room by moving class meeting. I have to pull that guy onto here a bit. Whoa. That relationship doesn't want to behave the right way. Okay, so that's working. And now we're going to have a course table. And for right now, we'll probably just have it be a lookup table as well. So we're going to do a third one. So let's pull out a new table. And I realize now that I didn't give these things types. So I'll eventually give them types. But so the location ID, the IDs are going to be all ints, and the names are going to be all varchars. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to have a table called course, and it's going to have a course ID. Is going to be the primary key, and the course name is going to be its only attribute. Okay, as we're going to cut that other attribute thing, and then we're going to have the same thing. So the many side is going to be on the course offering, and the one side is going to be on the course. So running out of real estate here, before I'm absolutely done, I'm going to have to pretty this up. But let's get the many side onto course offering, and then let's take the one side and put it down onto course. And I don't know why that wants to be as ugly as it does, but it does. So let's see if we can pull it down here somewhere. It doesn't want to do that. You know, when you get a lot of these things connected to each other, you can just get into such trouble. So let me pull the course over here, and then let's see if I can make that work. That definitely is not what I wanted to happen. Okay. So you're going to have to trust me here. This is going to be a one-to-many relationship where the one side is up against a course and the many side is up against a course offering. And before I finish up here, I'm going to pretty up all those things for you. So we've really taken a lot of things. And now, of course, we have to get rid of course name. So we're going to cut that. Okay. So what's kind of interesting here is that the course offering had a lot of the columns that were not normalized for one reason or the other, right? And we very slowly, we did 3 lookup tables, right? To get to the point where there, oh, sorry, we never took the location out too. We can get rid of location. Okay, so now we're looking a little bit better. Now we've got it working pretty well. Okay, so we just need to get the relationship in and get the types on these, and they're going to be fine. But course offering, which looked like it had a lot of columns, it did have a lot of columns. Now it doesn't have so many columns and has a lot of relationships. Now, columns will come back because the last operation that we're going to do is we're going to introduce foreign keys to implement the relationships. So foreign key columns will come back, but foreign key columns are much more manageable and don't have the same kind of problems with normalization than we were seeing with the free-form text fields that allowed us to key whatever we wanted in there. In all these cases, we've done 2 things. We've controlled the values and we've gotten rid of duplicate data. And those are both part of classic normalization for relational databases for online transaction processing apps. So, having said that, I'm going to say bye until the next part. Bye-bye.